Okay, so for today's class, we are going to start from a seated Sukhasana or cross-legged seat. I would recommend sitting on a pillow, could be a bed pillow, couch pillow, or even a block. Giving the lift of the hips helps to neutralize the pelvis. So essentially it tilts the pelvic forwards, and that'll allow you to get a little bit of space from the knees to the armpits. It also helps you to lengthen your spine a little bit more. As always, if cross-legged seat is not comfortable for you for any reason, knees, hips, ankles, feel free to find a seated position that is, maybe giving yourself lots of props to assist in it being a bit more comfortable. Today we're going to be doing a core-based flow. This will be an all bodies level 1, but with that said, if there's anything that does not feel right for your body, please modify. I'll try to give you as many modifications as I can while we go through, but if there's something that's not right for you, feel free to adjust as needed. So again, we'll start seated, kind of giving yourself a moment to maybe adjust into your seat until you feel comfortable. Spine lengthening, crown of the head reaching upwards. Soften your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a full deep breath in and a long, complete breath out. Once it's comfortable, I invite you to softly close your eyes. As always, if it's not comfortable to close your eyes, you might just try looking downwards towards your lap, towards the floor, maybe half shut the eyelids. We'll spend a few breaths here, just drawing attention and a focus to your inhales and exhales. Feeling your breath as it moves through your body. And slowly beginning to even out each breath in and each breath out. Until eventually each full cycle of breath becomes the same length as the one before and the one after. As you start to lengthen out your breath, start to bring attention to the movement of your belly. As you inhale and exhale, feeling that subtle expansion and contraction. Navel expanding forwards on the inhale. Navel pulling back on the exhale. See if you can maybe sit a little taller, finding a bit more length in the upper body. And now each time you exhale, I want you to think about the navel drawing back towards the back of the spine and then slightly upwards towards the rib cage. Drawing particular focus to your exhale at this moment. Keeping the core strong now and engaged. As again, you exhale, drawing the belly in and up. We're going to begin to bring a bit more force to your exhales. And each time you exhale, I want you to think of forcefully pressing the breath outwards through the nose. At the same time, you're drawing the belly in and upwards. So it's almost like you were pumping your abdominal area. And we're going to start to shorten the breath. So focusing again on the exhale. It'll be a forceful exhale out and a quick inhale in. The inhale happens naturally, and the exhale is where the focus is. It becomes an exhale, 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 exhale. And again, each time you exhale, you're drawing the belly in and up. Start to make a little bit of sound with your exhale. That forceful Good. We're going to keep going. That pumping of the belly in and up, and the forceful exhale through the nose. If you're having trouble finding that area, you might even bring your palm to your belly and feel that movement in the palm. Belly going in and up. I'm going to start going just a little bit faster. It'll be an exhale, 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 exhale. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Go ahead and let the belly relax. Let the navel expand, rib cage expand. Sit a little taller. Take a few deep resetting breaths here. And then you can allow your eyes to slowly begin to blink open. And that was your first introduction to a Kapalabhati breath, or breath of fire. Thinking of that breath in and upwards, kind of like a bellows, as it presses back and exhales the breath from the lungs. I'm going to take a moment here, maybe adjusting in your seat. Once again, you might even switch the cross of your legs. We won't be here for too much longer. We're going to take the palms onto the kneecaps, palms facing down, so you can kind of hook your fingers underneath the knees themselves. I'm going to start to draw just little tiny circles. And I want you to really focus on these circles kind of coming from the rib cage and shoulders. Hips staying nice and stable. So again, we're using the core to draw these circles. Good. Now, keeping that same circular motion, you'll bring your left palm to your right shoulder, your right palm to your left shoulder, and we're going to do that same motion, just getting a little bit different with the circles. Maybe a little bit bigger, but again, the circles coming from the rib cage, circling around the hips, rather than the hips generating the movement. So it's very small, it's core work, deep core muscles moving. I'm going to reverse the direction of those circles. So again, taking left hand back to left knee, coming back to center, or start the other direction now. Little circles, palms starting at the knees, just to kind of find that range of motion in the beginning. And then once you have the range of motion, you have the momentum, we'll take palms back to the shoulders, and you'll do those same circles. If you wanted to try a little bit different, you might bring the hands behind the head. Find those same circles. Just make sure you're not pushing on the back of the head, and the hips are not driving the movement, but the core is driving the movement. We've got a couple more here. Good, bring the arms over the head as you continue to circle for 5, 4, 3, 2, good job. Inhale, reach tall, and then exhale, lower the arms down. Good. Go ahead and remove whatever you might have been sitting on. Set it to the side. Keep it handy though. You might decide you want it a little bit later once we move to hands and knees. You can always use it for underneath your knees as well. We're going to come down onto your back now. So adjusting yourself on your mat so you have plenty of space to lie down. Make your way as comfortable for now onto your back. And then once you get to the back, take a moment to take a nice long stretch. Extend both legs forwards. Inhale, reach both of your arms over your head. Big stretch from fingers to toes. Good. As you exhale, start by bringing your right knee into your chest and give your right knee a nice big hug. Good. Inhale, extend your right leg forwards, reach your arms over your head. Exhale now, left knee into your chest. I'm going to do a couple more. Inhale, left leg forwards, arms overhead. Exhale, right knee to your chest. Good. Inhale, right leg forwards, arms overhead. Exhale, left knee draws in. One more each side. Inhale, extend. Good. Exhale, right knee to chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, left knee to chest. Good. Inhale, again, reach both arms overhead. And as you exhale now, bring both knees into your chest. Give both knees a hug. Good. This time you'll extend both legs to the ceiling as you inhale, arms reach to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, knees to the chest. 3 more like that. Inhale, extending arms and legs to the ceiling. Exhale, bending back in. Good. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Breath in. Knees to chest. Exhale. Good. From here, start to press the low belly into the floor so your back gets nice and flat. I'm going to shift your knees forwards until your knees are strapped directly above your hips. If you feel your low back curl upwards, try to press the low spine back down, and you might bring the knees a little closer in towards the chest rather than straight over your hips. From there, you'll place both palms beside your hips for support. And if you're feeling this in your tailbone or low back, feel free to hook the thumbs under your low back, and that can give you some lumbar support as well. We're going to do an alternating toe tap. And the key to this movement is it comes from the shift of the upper leg forwards, not from the bend of the knee. So the wrong way to do this one, I'll show you first, is to just bend the knee and tap the toe down. What you want to do is shift the full 90-degree bend forwards and then back up. So we're going to lower one leg at a time, tapping the toes alternately towards the floor. Good. It's an inhale down and an exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. We're going to keep going here for a few more rounds. Keep drawing the low belly into the floor. Keep the knees stacked over the hips and that 90-degree bend in the legs the entire time. Good. You've got 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Good job. As the knee comes up, one more time, give those knees a hug into the chest. This time, draw some circles, knees together, palms at your kneecaps. Circle your knees around your hips. Give your low back and base good massage. And then back the other direction. Once you're even in both directions, again, you'll draw your right knee into your chest and extend the left leg back forwards in front of you, giving your right knee a nice good hug. Good. Switching sides, left knee will draw in, right leg will extend forwards. Good. Once again, right knee will bend into the chest, both knees to the chest. Now from here, place both palms back on your mat outside your hips. Have your palms facing downwards, and then lower one foot at a time to the floor. Both knees will be bent. From here, we're going to do some bridge roll-ups and add in a core option. The whole thing will be a core work per se, but we'll add a little bit more and a little bit more. Each add-on that I give you is purely optional. You can stay with one, or you can progress upwards. Do what feels best for you.
So again, we'll start palms down. Walk your heels back towards your fingertips. You almost want to graze your middle fingers with your heels. Have your feet and knees hips-width distance apart. And if it ever question, it's about 2 fist-width distance apart is how far you want the feet to be. You could always also place a block between your knees. Having a block between your knees can help to keep the focus on the inner thighs and glutes, can help to keep the knees hips-width distance apart, and it also helps to keep the knees from splaying out or knocking in. So again, we're going to start palms downwards for now, pressing the heels into the floor. Imagine a string from your navel to the ceiling. On your next inhale, start to raise the hips upwards, using the glutes, inner thighs, low belly lifted. We'll never go any higher than the back of your rib cage. So we're not turning this one into a back bend. We're keeping everything nice and diagonal from the sternum to the knees. So the hips only go so high that you maintain that diagonal line, and you can find some engagement in the front of the core, the glutes, inner thighs, and maybe even the back of the arms. As you exhale, we're going to lower 1 vertebrae at a time back down until your tailbone touches the floor. Next inhale, again, you'll lift the hips slowly. Again, no higher than the base of the rib cage. And then exhale, slowly lower back down. First add-on, as you inhale, you have the option to start to raise your arms. They might just come up to the ceiling, or they might go all the way above your head. And as you exhale, you'll lower the arms back down, lowering the hips to the floor as well. Key here is to time everything together so the hips don't come down before the hands don't go up before the hips, vice versa. So again, inhale, hips lift, option to lift the arms. And then exhale, lowering the arms, lowering the hips. Good, again, inhale, maybe just the hips lift, maybe you've added the arms. And then exhale, you lower 1 vertebrae at a time. Adding the arms can lead to maybe the hips sort of sliding forwards a bit. So at any time you feel like you need to adjust, please adjust. We've got another add-on coming up next. So again, you have the option to just lift the hips. You have the option to lift the hips and lift the arms. So we'll inhale, arms up, hips up. Your next option is, as you exhale, lower the hips and lower the arms. You're going to lift your head and shoulders coming up into a curl. Make sure the lift comes from the shoulders, not the neck or head itself. Lower abdominals, upper abdominals all engaged. And then as you exhale, you'll lower the head and the arms back towards the floor. Inhale, lift the hips, arms go overhead. And then as you exhale, hips come down, head and shoulders lift. Good, we're going to do a few more just like that. Inhale, hips lift, arms up. Good, exhale, hips down, head and shoulders lift. Inhale. And exhale. Couple more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good, one more time. Head up, or hips up, arms up. And then exhale, hips down, head up. Good, inhale. Lift. And now as you exhale, hips will come down, arms come down, knees to the chest. Go ahead, give yourself lots of movement here. Draw some circles with your knees. You might stay with the knees together in the circles. Maybe draw some in and out circles now, taking the knees away from each other, around and back together again. Once you feel even with your circles, We're going to keep that right knee drawn into your chest. Extend your left leg back forwards in front of you. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Draw your left knee back into your chest. Now extend the right leg forwards. Hugging the left knee, reaching forward to the right for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your right knee back up to meet your left. Now extend both legs up to the ceiling. You've got a few breaths here just to allow the blood to move down the legs, back to the low back, belly, and heart. Feel free to find a little bit of movement. You can flex and point, circle your ankles. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we'll rebend your knees once more back into your chest. Now keeping your knees bent, we're going to find that reverse tabletop one more time. Shift your knees forwards until they're over your hips, shins parallel to the floor. You have the 90-degree bend in the legs. From here, we're going to open both arms out to a T, and you could place a block between your knees that can help to stabilize the low back and hips as we go into this next core exercise. So you can start palms up or palms down. Palms down is going to give you a little bit more control. Arms at a T, take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to shift your knees just about 2 inches to your right. Hold there as you inhale. And now on your exhale, bring your knees back to center. Hold center on your inhale. And now as you exhale, shift your knees about 2 to 3 inches to your left. Hold left on your inhale. Good. Your exhale, you'll move back to center. Hold center on the inhale. Exhale, shift the knees a little further to the right. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Don't skip the hold. You're holding on the inhale. And then exhale now, move a little further to the left. Hold left on the inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Again, hold on the inhale. Exhale, knees go a little further to the right. We're going to keep going side to side. The movement is on the exhale. You hold on the inhale. So again, try not to skip the hold. That's one of the most important parts. Use your breath to guide your movement, and you're increasing the range of motion as it's safe for you. So you should feel this in your low back. You should be using the core to move the knees. And if you're wanting a little more, you might extend the top leg and then rebend when you come back to move. We're going to do a few more rounds here with your breath. The next time you come back to center, you'll hold at center. And then on your next exhale, you'll take your knees all the way to the right into a twist, lowering the knees to the floor. If you feel like your hips and knees are not stacked, or your spine feels too out of line with your shoulders, feel free to make an adjustment to your hips until your knees and hips are stacked and the twist can come from the ribs and shoulders. Arms still open to a T. Take one more breath here. Draw the belly in. Use your inhale, lift your knees back to center. Good, you'll have time to adjust your hips, but for now, we're going to take the knees all the way to the left into that same twist. Maybe again, shifting or adjusting as needed. So the knees are stacked, the hips are stacked, chest, shoulders are open. Take one more breath here. Good, belly to spine, inhale, knees will come back to center once more. Now exhale, draw your knees into your chest for one more nice good hug. Take this into a little bit of a rock, side to side. Feel free to rock back and forth. From here, we're going to come up to seated. So I'll give you the option to rock to the side, press up to seated. If you want to continue with a little bit of core, hands behind your knees, you're going to rock back and forth until you eventually rock yourself up to seated. Good job. Once you come up to seated, we're going to roll over and come to a tabletop or hands and knees. Feel free to add some extra padding under your knees, maybe a pillow or a folded blanket. You can even double up your mat if needed. Then you'll stack your hips over your knees, shoulders over your wrists. Have your hands at least shoulder width distance apart, maybe slightly wider if you know you tend to have tighter shoulders, tighter wrists. Fingertips spread out nice and wide, so you get a nice wide base for the wrists as well. Moving into a few rounds of cat-cow from here. On your next inhale, think about the heels of the hands drawing back towards the knees. As you bring your chest forwards, lower your belly and lift your tail. As you exhale, think about the heels of the hands pressing down and forwards. As you tuck your tail, send the back of your heart to the ceiling and your chin to your chest. Again, inhale, heels of the hands draw towards the knees, chest comes forwards. Exhaling, heels of the hands press down and forwards as your spine rounds. We'll take about 5 more rounds of cat-cow here, giving some blood flow through your spine, shoulders, and hips. Good, couple more breaths. You've got one more full round wherever you are. The exhale will finish your cat-cow. Use an inhale to find center or neutral spine. From here, focus on kind of pressing the floor away, a little lift through the back of the heart. So we're never letting the shoulders sag up towards the ears or dropping the belly towards the floor. Keeping everything kind of up and pulled in. From here, we're going to inhale, extend your right leg straight back behind you. Start with the ball of your right foot on the floor. Again, you never need to go any further than this. You could just do the leg movement, keep both arms on the floor, both palms on the floor for stability. If you want to take this a little further, we're going to add some counterbalance by walking your left fingertips forwards out in front of you. So you have a diagonal line from your left hand to your right foot. Again, you never need to go further than this. You could stay just as you are. You could find the movement in just the leg and keep the left fingertips to the floor. If you want to try a bit more, rotate so that your thumb is facing the ceiling, the pinky's touching the floor. We're going to lift and lower the arm and the leg 5 times. On your exhale, lift the right leg, the left arm, and on your inhale, set it back down.
Good. Exhale, lift. And inhale, lower. Key here, again, is not to let the belly drop, but to keep everything pulled up and in so it never becomes a back bend. You've got 2. On your next one, we're going to lift. Hold here as you inhale. Again, you could keep the left hand on the ground, just do the knee movement. As you exhale, we're going to draw right knee towards left elbow towards right knee. On the inhale, you'll re-extend. And on your exhale, you'll bring it back in. 3 more here. Inhale. Good, and exhale. 2. We've got 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Good, now inhale, extend both forwards. Exhale, you'll touch down. Bringing the left palm back in, the right knee back in. I'm going to take a child's pose from here. Press your hips back towards your heels. You might place a pillow between your heels and hips, or maybe a block underneath your hips. Forehead to the floor or a block. And then you're going to keep the left arm extending forwards. Slide your right palm back towards your outer right knee. Bring the back of your hand to the small of your back. And just let that right elbow, right shoulder hang heavy. Good, you've got 1 more breath here. Go ahead, release your right palm back to the mat. Slowly extending the right arm back forwards, palms to the floor. Inhale, shift forwards. Come back to your tabletop. Readjust so your hips are back over your knees, your shoulders back over your wrists. From there, now on an inhale, extend your left leg back behind you. Ball of the left foot on the floor, hips squared. Again, think about pressing the floor away from you the entire time so we never start to drop the middle of the back. From here, you could keep just the left foot on the floor, never move further. If you want more, start to walk the right fingertips forwards, creating your diagonal line or counterbalance. Staying here, or you'll rotate, pinky to the ground, thumb to the ceiling. Again, you could keep the right arm stable and only move the leg. On your next exhale, we're going to lift. Left leg, right arm. Your inhale will set it down. Good, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. You've got 3, 2. Good, this next lift you'll hold up on the inhale. Now as you exhale, knee to chest. An option is to bring the elbow to the knee. Good, inhale, re-extend. Exhale, bring it in. You've got 3, 2. Good, 1 more, inhale. Exhale, rebend. Good, last time, extend, inhale. As you exhale, you'll set right palm down, left knee down. 1 more child's pose, setting hips to heels. Again, prop as needed, block under the head, maybe under the hips. And then this time you'll slide your left hand back towards your outer left knee, and then bring the back of your left hand behind your back, letting the left shoulder, left elbow fall heavy. One more breath here. Now unwind your left arm, palm back to the floor, reaching both fingers forwards, press into your palms.
Inhale, shift yourself forwards, top of your mat.
As you exhale, find a nice big cat. Press the floor away, round your spine, chin to chest. Inhale to your cow, heels of the hands drawing towards the knee, chest pulls forwards. And exhale again, year round. Good. As you inhale, find a neutral spine. As you exhale, we're going to find downward dog. If downward dog does not feel good to you, remain in tabletop or maybe go back to child's pose. If you want to try downward dog, tuck your toes, press your hips to your heels. The palms are going to press down and forwards. So as you start to press the hips back, you maintain that length in your upper body. So maybe you keep a nice big bend in the knees so you can press your heart towards your thighs. And then over time, slowly start to work the heels towards the floor. But we don't want to shift the weight forwards to bring the shoulders towards the wrist. We want to press the shoulders away from the wrist and send as much weight to the feet as possible. Go ahead, pedal out your feet a couple of times. Bend your right knee, bend your left knee. You might shake out your head, nod yes and no. You're going to be here just a couple more breaths. Now from this downward dog, start to walk your feet out nice and wide. I'm going to go at least the width of your yoga mat, if not slightly wider. So I'm actually taking my feet off the outside edge of my yoga mat to get a little more space. Bend both knees and begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. We'll come towards a somewhat wide-legged forward fold at the back of your mat, keeping a nice big bend in the knees. So your low back is supported. Let your head fall heavy. Give your wrists a little circle here. Get some blood pumping back into the wrist. Open and close your fingers. Good, and then a nice big bend in the knees until you can place your fingertips to your mat. You can always use blocks here as well. We're going to turn your toes outwards and have the heels turned in. Taking a plie stance with the feet, turning the toes out about 45 degrees in, heels in, bend the knees, and we're going to place your palms at the insides of your knees. So the upper body is going to lift about parallel with the floor, palms to the insides of the knees, feet are turned out, so we're in sort of a goddess or horse stance here. From there, we're going to press the left knee open, drop the left shoulder, pull the right shoulder up and back, and take a twist to your right. Good, bring your upper body towards center, and then you'll do the same thing. Now press the right knee open, drop the right shoulder, left shoulder pulls up and back as you twist to your left. Good, inhale, come back to center. Now as you exhale, let the spine round as if you were going into cat and start to walk your hands up your legs. As you do, begin to straighten the legs so we slowly work up to stand. Good, once you come up to stand, turn your feet so that they're parallel to the edges of your mat. Inhale, now circle your arms overhead. Good, exhale, hands to the heart. One more time. Inhale, circle. Just allowing the blood to move back from the head down to the feet. Good. This time as you inhale, circle your arms. You're going to interlace your fingers above your head and then flip your palms so you can press the palms to the ceiling. Take a breath in. As you exhale, take a side bend to your right, pressing the flipped palms towards the right wall. Inhale, come back to center. Now as you exhale, you'll round the back and press the palms forwards. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Side bend it to your left. Exhale. Good. Inhale, back to center. Round it, press the palms forwards. Good. Again, inhale, come back to center. We're going to draw a circle now. So as you exhale, you'll take your side bend to the right, circle it forwards and over to the left. As you come to center, reverse that circle. Take it to the left, circle it forwards, and then up to the right. We're going to continue here, drawing figure eights. Keep the glutes engaged, core is engaged. So it's almost like those circular movements we did at the beginning from a seated position. Just taking the movement a little bit bigger as you circle around. Good, we've got a few more in each direction. And I'm taking quite a big bend in my knees as I circle forward. So I can get a little more engagement in my core and not use my back. Good, you've got one more circle in each direction. As the palms come to the ceiling, you'll take that as a big stretch on your inhale. As you exhale, go ahead, relax your arms down. Take a couple shoulder rolls. Good, again, we're going to turn the heels back out. The toes back out, keeping the heels in. So we're back into the goddess stance or plie stance. Toes out, heels in. Inhale, circle your arms. As you exhale, bring the hands to the heart, and we're going to take a seat. This time, keeping your shoulders lifted over your hips. Adjust the feet as needed. You want your knees to be tracking with the feet as much as possible. So if you have tighter hips, you might not have quite a turnout on the feet themselves in order for the knees to track with the toes. From here, we're going to place your palms back on your shoulders. We're going to do little side crunches. So you'll inhale. As you exhale, we're going to hinge towards your right knee. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the left knee. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Good. You could take this a little more by bringing the hands on either side of the head. Just make sure you're not pushing on the back of the head itself. Again, you'll exhale, elbow towards knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, elbow to knee. We're going to do a couple more. If at any point this becomes too much for your hips, your legs, feel free to come out of the goddess stance and just do the side crunch without the bend in the knees. You've got one more in each direction. Good. You'll inhale at center. Exhale back up to stand. Turn the feet back to a parallel stance. One more time. Inhale, circle your arms. Going into a wide-legged forward fold. Exhale, hinge forwards. Reaching forwards, hinging from the hips. Bending the knees as much as possible to bring the palms to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Good. As you exhale, we're going to take that bend a little bit deeper into the knees. We're going to walk all the way out to a plank pose. So you'll walk your palms towards the top of your mat, and then walk the feet back until they're hips width distance behind you, and your shoulders are over your wrists. From there, try not to lose the diagonal of the upper body, and you'll lower the knees to a knee plank. Keeping the tailbone diagonal to the shoulders, the heart reaching forwards. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, we're going to lower your chest between your palms, gently bending the elbows and lowering all the way to the floor. From here, coming into Sphinx pose, walk your elbows forwards until your forearms are on the floor, your elbows are under your shoulders, and your heart's pulling forwards and up. Stretching out the core here, giving it a little bit of a break. Think about the forearms pulling down and back. We'll take a couple more breaths here. If you're feeling any tension in your shoulders or neck, you can take a neck release, letting the head pendulum from side to side or hang heavy. Gazing forwards, take one more final breath in. As you exhale, slide the elbows back, lower your chest, bring your palms alongside your ribs, tuck your toes, press the knees into the floor. Use your next exhale, press the floor away from you with the palms and the knees, come back towards that knee plank. Let the hips shift back over the knees, adjust your shoulders back over your wrists. We're going to come to one more downward dog. Again, option is to stay in table or press back to child's as well. Sending the hips up and back. Another adjustment, pedal of your feet. Full breath in, full breath out. Next, inhale, look forwards to the top of your mat. I'm going to take a walk to your hands, slowly stepping your feet forwards until they reach the top of your mat, the backs of your hands. Again, bend the knees. You'll lift the chest halfway up until the spine is parallel to the floor. Take a breath in, think about lengthening. And then as you exhale, reaching the belly out over your thighs, take a standing forward fold. Here you might grab opposite elbows for ragdoll, or maybe just have the hands resting at your shins or thighs. You can always place the palms on the blocks or your yoga mat as well. Feel free to sway if that feels good. Any little bit of movement in this forward fold. One more full breath. Release the fingertips to your mat or your blocks. Bend the knees a little bit more, engaging the backs of the legs. It'll help to move the blood away from your head. Imagine the feet, we're going to press through the floor. Your next inhale, circle your arms, lift leading with the heart. You'll come all the way up to stand, reaching and stretching at the top, big inhale. Again, connect your palms, heart center as you exhale. Good, again, we'll circle, inhale. Bring it in, exhale. Good, back into a forward fold this time. If you have blocks, grab those blocks before we move on. Set them on either corner, either edge of your mat. They will be needed shortly, so if you have them, they'll be a great tool. From here, inhale, circle your arms. Exhale, you'll fold, reaching out and down, belly over thighs, hands to your blocks here. Now walk your blocks in until they're in front of either of your feet. For now, we're going to turn the blocks to the highest setting so we can get a little bit of lift in the upper body. You'll inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, take a bend in both knees, and we're going to start by stepping your left foot to the back of your mat for a lunge. Good. Stack your right knee over your left, and then walk your blocks just a little bit forwards in front of you. We're not going to hold this lunge any longer, but we will come back to it. So keeping your fingertips at your blocks, you're going to press up off of your right foot until you can hover your left leg. Have the chest reaching forwards, take an inhale. Now as you exhale, like we did from hands and knees, you're going to bring your left knee to your chest. Good. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, knee to chest. Two more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Breath in. Good. And breath out. Now we're going back into your lunge. Reaching the left leg back behind you. Rebend your right knee. Setting the left foot down into a nice low lunge. From here, set the blocks to the side. You might want them again, but keep them handy. We'll lower your left knee to the floor. Your left palm to the mat or your block. Inhale, take a twist from here. Reaching your right fingertips up to the ceiling. Twisting from the rib cage and shoulders. One more inhale. Good. As you exhale, bring your right hand down. Now this next transition might feel a little bit funky. You're going to take your right leg, slide it straight back behind you till we're in a three-legged tabletop. Ball of the right foot on the floor for now. Palms to your blocks or your mat. From here, you're going to take your left heel and turn it out to the left. That's where it might feel a little funky. And then from there, we're going to roll to the inside edge of your right foot. So you're on your left palm, your left knee, left foot's turned out to the left. Inhale, take your right arm up to the ceiling. So we're in this modified gait or side plank position. From here, this might be beneficial to have a block underneath your left hand. This next transition's a little tricky, so having that block under there gets you a little higher up, right to begin with. So think about engaging the left knee, left obliques, right obliques. You're going to inhale, see if you can lift your upper body over your hips. So now we're in full gait. Good. Taking your right hand to your outer right thigh, inhale, stretch your left arm up and over to your right. Good, come back to a T. We're going to do this back and forth a few times with your breath. You're going to reach out to the left, lower the left hand to your mat or your block. The right arm's going to reach to the ceiling. Good, you'll use your exhale to lift up and then stretch it out. We're going to go back and forth. Inhale to a T. Exhale, you lower. Back up. And then reverse to a side bend. Good. Inhale. Exhale, you lower. Inhale all the way up and over. Good. Next inhale, you find your T. You come down. And then back up. Good. One more time. Going down to the block. Arm overhead. And then back up. And into your gate pose. Hold for 3, 2. Good. We're going to go all the way down to the floor. So we'll lower the left hand. Let the right hand rotate to the mat. As the right palm comes down, feel free to set your block to the side. You're going to bring your left heel back behind your left knee so that everything is facing lengthwise on your mat. Tuck your back toes. Lift your left knee. Step your left foot back, press back, you've got downward dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Good job. Lift both heels, looking forwards. One more time, you're going to walk your feet to the top of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Give yourself a good forward fold, exhale. Bend the knees, engage your glutes and thighs. Inhale, circle your arms, lift all the way up to stand. One more time, big stretch. We're going to go right back into your forward fold. Bend the knees, reach out and down. Good, reach for your blocks. Lifting halfway up, place your blocks at their highest setting in front of each of your feet. Lengthen the heart forwards, halfway lift. As you exhale, deep bend in the knees, you're going to step your right foot to the back of your mat. Finding first a nice long lunge, left knee over left ankle. And then you'll walk both blocks slightly forwards, but they'll still be under each shoulder. Push off of your left foot, lift your right leg. As you start to straighten the left leg, the right hovers, the chest goes forwards. Take an inhale. As you exhale, knee to chest. Good. Inhale, reach back. And exhale, curl in. Good. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. 2. 1 more. Good. This time as you inhale, reach your right leg back. As you exhale, rebend the left knee. Step the right foot to the back of the mat into your lunge. Once the right knee is down, you'll lower the left knee. Or sorry, once the right foot is back, you'll lower the right knee. Bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Again, you might keep your right hand on a block, or you might have your right hand on the mat. Inhale now, lift the left arm up to the ceiling for a twist. One more inhale. Now as you exhale, you'll lower the left fingertips to your mat or your block. This left leg is going to slide all the way to the back of your mat. Ball of the left foot starting on the floor. From here, we're going to take your right foot, turn the right foot out to the right, adjust the knee so that it's comfortable. Right palm, right knee in alignment. Weight comes there, you'll come to the inside edge of your left foot, and then inhale, take your left arm up to the ceiling. This is where you might want to add the block under your right hand, so the upper body slightly lifted makes the next sequence a little more accessible. Your next exhale, you're going to lift your head and shoulders, pressing off the right arm, coming up so that your shoulders are stacked over your hips. Now your left hand to your outer left thigh, reach your right arm up and over to the left for gate pose. Good, again, we're going to go back and forth. So your next inhale, you'll find the T with your arms. Your exhale, you're going to lower right fingertips back to the mat or block, left arm to the ceiling. Good, come back up to your T, and then into your side bend. Good, back to your T, forwards, right fingertips to the mat or block. Good, back to your T, and then side bend to your left. A little more fluid now. Few more rounds. Obliques are there to stabilize, to help with the movement. Good, one more time, right fingertips down. Good, inhale, last time you'll find your gate, reaching the right arm overhead. Find your T, and then as you exhale, you'll windmill both hands back down to the ground. As the left fingertips touch, turn the right heel back behind your right knee, so you're squared off to the top of your mat. You've got one last downward dog here, maybe child's pose if that's what your body needs. Press the right foot into the mat, try to lift the left knee, stepping both feet back, one last downward dog. Pedal out your feet, get some blood moving back through your knees. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, you'll slowly lower both knees to the mat, shifting the knees to one side, lower your hips to the other, and you'll come to seated, bringing your legs forwards out in front of you to the top of your mat. Make sure you have plenty of space to lie back. We're going to do a little core flow back to the floor. It's keeping a soft bend in your knees. Sit up nice and tall, stack your shoulders over your hips. Inhale, circle your arms to the ceiling. As you exhale, reach forwards, belly to thighs, fingertips reaching past the knees. Inhale, now reach your arms overhead. As you exhale, if this is too sensitive for your low back, stay seated, just engaging the core. You're going to start to roll back as if you were going into a low boat. Now from the core, inhale, pull in, lifting the upper body, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards, reaching beyond the feet. Good, inhale, come up. Again, exhale, pull back, lowering towards the floor. One more time, inhale, come up. Good, exhale, fold. This time you'll go all the way down to the mat. If it's too much to go one vertebrae at a time, roll to one side, come down to the floor safely.
Once you get to the floor, take a big stretch, arms overhead, reaching from fingers to toes. Exhale, knees into the chest. One final hug. Take a moment here, moving, rocking side to side, drawing some final circles. Good, right knee into the chest, extend your left leg forwards. Left knee back into the chest, extend your right leg forwards. This time, extend your left leg forwards to meet your right. Adjust your hips, shoulders, maybe reaching for a pillow for underneath your knees or a blanket to place over your body. Feel free to add any other props, a pillow to your head, anything that allows your body to be a little bit more comfortable for this final relaxation. If comfortable, start with your right palm over your belly at your navel and your left palm over your heart, left side of your chest. Allow your eyes to close softly if it's comfortable. Allow your feet to fall heavy, maybe making any adjustments that are needed so the feet can fall wide, the heels slightly in. Deep inhale, breathing into the belly, feeling the belly expand into the palm of your right hand. As you exhale, feel the gentle release as your belly pulls away from the palm. Again, inhale, belly filling the palm of your right hand. Exhale as it gently pulls away. Continue here, expanding the belly with each breath, feeling the rise and fall of the palm. And allow your awareness to drift to the palm of your left hand. Feeling your heart beating against your palm. Feeling the expansion of your chest, your hand against your heart. Relax your shoulders, soften your jaw. And just feel your breath. Inhale fully and exhale completely. Start to bring sound back to your inhales and exhales. Soft movement back to your hands and feet, wrists and ankles. Inhale once more, reach your arms over your head, big stretch from fingers to toes. Exhale, give your knees a final hug into your chest. A couple rocks softly from side to side. Roll yourself over to one side, your right or your left, giving yourself a moment or two there of pause.
And now slowly begin to press yourself back up to seated. From your seated position, let your hands fall gently over your heart. If comfortable, eyes closed. Take a full, deep breath in and a long, complete breath out. Thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste.